The government sector in Cambodia has contributed tremendously to the economic growth and has provided jobs for over 800,000 factory workers, majority of whom are women. Women from the rural areas, women who have no other opportunities but working in these factories. However, since the spread of the pandemic COVID-19, the government sector has also been hit severely. Today, over 200,000 workers have lost their jobs or have been suspended from their jobs because their factories have been forced to close as the international brands have stopped putting orders or have not honored their orders. Each worker supports at least 4 or 5 members of their families, which means that they have to pay for the education, the health, the food, and the debts of their parents. So now, with COVID-19, we're not talking about 200,000 or 800,000 workers without jobs. We're talking about 2 to 3 million people affected. These factory workers also support the small businesses that sell food around the factories. They're small businesses that moms and pops shops around the factories, the transportation system, people who have small rooms to rent to the workers. All of these people are affected. A factory worker was making about $190 per month, and usually the workers put in overtime. Now they have lost this income. The government of Cambodia has promised them to pay $40 per worker, and for the factory to pay $30, a total of $70 during this time when the factories are closed. 90% of the garments made in Cambodia are for export. It is unlikely that this market will come back soon. What's next? Thousands of workers are protesting every day in front of the factories. Most of the factory owners have closed shop and disappear, leaving the workers without their last payment or any other benefits they deserve. At this moment, the situation is very critical for the workers who are the main breadwinners for their families. What is more serious is that the workers cannot go back home to the villages because they left the villages to find work in the city of Phnom Penh. If they return home, they'll also have to return to face debts of their parents who have borrowed from microfinancial institutions to invest in the land, to invest in small businesses, but they have not been able to make the payments. For years, workers in these government factories have contributed to the economic development of the countries. They have worked under very difficult conditions. They have been exploited. They have risked their lives. They have been at the end of the supply chain of this cheap, cheerful fashion. However, the fashion industry is an industry that is worth billions of dollars. We are talking about big names. And now we're talking about the women at the end of this supply chain of this billion-dollar industry needing work, needing to put rice at the table, needing to support their families, needing to be recognized for the labor, the cheap labor that they have contributed for years. Facing COVID-19, they should not be facing it alone. From the government side, there should be immediate action taken, starting with economic stimulus that will compensate for the monthly payment of the workers, and immediate vocational training to provide the workers with new skills to redirect the economy into more diversified sectors. Skills and opportunities for the women to get involved in small micro enterprises, get them ready, not using their unskilled labor, but make their labor semi-skilled or skilled labor, so that they can step up and not continue to be the dispensable item on the supply chain. The big brands should be paying for the vocational training of the workers, help support the factories to stay open. As consumers, we have to think about the quality of the clothes that we wear, not in terms of our money, but in terms of human lives, and especially of women's human lives. COVID-19 is a wake-up call. This is the time to rethink. This is the time to hear the voices of our women who work in the factories. This is the time to redefine fashion.